Hey, welcome to Pat's Soundbites IGTV. Keeping new music alive is what I do on the radio and now on video. Conducting live chats with the artists and learning the stories behind their latest release and also playing their new video. Special thanks to my good friend Jody Best of Best Bet Promotions for coordinating and scheduling today's artists. Having over 20 plus years in the music industry, if you're looking for a highly successful promotion and marketing professional who's extremely motivated, look no further than Jody Best. For more information, contact Jody via email at bestbetpromo@yahoo.com. Special thanks today to my sponsor, Go-Go Tuners, for all guitar players looking for a focus on ease of use, readability, durability, and accuracy. Look no further. The Go-Go Tuner is the choice of many touring professionals and a favorite of casual players. Go-Go's signature green you're in and red you're out screen makes tuning quick and easy. For more information, go to the website at gogotuners.com. Special thanks to WBXO Classic Rock Radio Redefined, allowing me to keep new music alive on the radio airways on the Pat Show every Sunday from 5 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. Only on WBXO Classic Rock Redefined. And a big thank you to Mr. Evan Balzer for allowing me to use his amazing instrumental that you're hearing right now. It's called Trails. To find out more incredible music by Evan, go to his website at evanbalzer.com. And today's special guests, Mr. Jeff Buehner and Mr. Brandon Cook of the band The Loyal Order. Their debut album of the same name is on fire, courtesy of incredible tracks of Ready for Dead and Hellfire. We're going to talk to Jeff and Brandon about this great success so far. We're going to play the video of Hellfire and much more right here on Pat's Soundbites IGTV. Hey, live on Pat's Soundbites IGTV, keeping new music alive on the radio and on video. I got these two metal rockers today. Jeff Buehner, Brandon Cook, The Loyal Order is kicking ass and taking names. And thank you, gentlemen. Great to see you guys in the Northwest, kicking ass and moving right up the charts.
Our pleasure, man. Thank you for having us.
Jeff, we had a great chat in June, learned all about the bass player that became the singer from some off-the-grid hunting thing. And then they got Brandon involved to do the guitar riff. And here we are in October, and Hellfire, as you just told me, went up to like number 6 with 861,000 views on your YouTube, on the video, as well as Facebook, Ready for Dead did outstanding. So I applaud you guys. You are blessed. I'm blessed. We're rocking and rolling. It's all really cool.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Tell me about this. I mean, I follow you guys on Facebook, and I'm glad that you're posting the charts. And, you know, you got to believe, right, to get to that mountain and go, look, if nobody believes, I got to believe. And you're hooked up with a great label of David and Tom and company and Eric down there. And it's a pinch me moment, no?
Yeah, it really is. Really is, man. We we started working with those guys. We had our first single out, and it started doing really well, and took it to radio, and it did well there. And then we brought Hellfire out, and that's done equally as well, actually a little better than the first single. So we're working on more now, and we'll have another one out soon.
Yeah, I remember the first time Jeff and I played music for people, and we just saw people's reactions. We just looked at each other and we're like, is this real? People are really freaking out over these songs. And
are you talking about that John Denver duo thing that we did?
Yes, the whole the acoustic single.
Whoa! Time out. You guys did a John Denver?
No.
Take two.
I was kidding.
No, we played off the grid for some very good friends of ours right when we did a master of it the first time we were doing the hunting show, and the reactions we were getting off people were just like, oh my God, you guys, you have to be a band. And we pretty much started the band because people told us to. It was so good. We just were like, oh wow, okay, I guess we have to do something with this. And the next song was really got the same kind of reactions real quick. That was I Fall Silent. And it just kept kind of going from there. And, you know, Jeff talked to Rob Dacre about making a record, and it once we heard what he was kind of treating our songs like, it was like, okay, wow, this could be really amazing. So, yeah, so it carried from there. And I don't know, it kind of like that belief in ourselves. I mean, for me, at least, it definitely kind of grew when I started seeing people's reactions. It was really interesting. And because I had been doing other kinds of music, like tribute bands and, you know, like cover bands and stuff like that. And I always wrote on the side, but I had never written with someone like Jeff, who was really focused on like making records. And he'd made several records like that. And one of them went to, signed to Trauma Records and had a song in a movie and everything. And it just was a different focus of writing versus just more for my own pleasure. And it was really cool to get to do that.
I mean, and then you hook up with this great label with Dave and Thom and EMP.
Yeah.
And they knew exactly what you guys were looking for. I mean, to me, they're the perfect fit of a label out there for your type of music. I mean, who knows better than those guys, you know, that have been doing it, and to grab you guys and go, yeah, we want you, and to help you, you know, launch is just, you couldn't ask for anything more, you know, I think.
Yeah, well, dude, it's a great fit, man. Thom, we met Thom at a Megadeth listening party in Los Angeles. They had just finished their record, and you know, Mustaine was there and everybody, and we checked it out. Our friend Jimmy Littlefield actually had an invite to it and invited us along with him, and we were lucky enough and fortunate enough to like show up there. And it was this offsite place in Los Angeles. And I said hello to Thom, and we, you know, exchanged information, and it was quick, you know, we didn't, you know, it was kind of like, hey, how's it going, kind of a thing. And then when we finished Ready for Dead, I reached out to him and sent him the music video, and I said, here you go. What do you think? Thinking about working with you. I think it'd be a good fit, et cetera, et cetera. And we talked back and forth a little bit, and off it went, you know.
The feedback that I get, even though I'm a classic rock station and we put in the tie line of Redefine, which allows me and any of the on-air personality to play whatever we want. So you guys, I mean, when I started playing Ready for Dead, my phone was ringing like, who's this? What's going on? Because that's all I do is pretty much play new music, and we're focused. And then they follow me on all the social medias. And then I did the interview with Jeff, and then it got a lot of attention. And it does good here. I mean, we put it on the rotation right away. I was busting Jeff's balls going, dude, what about my station? But, you know, I'm a classic rock guy. And he's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. These are the medals. I keep forgetting about that little guy in New York. But
I've inserted it quite a few times, actually.
I know. I was only busted on you.
I know, man. It's just copy paste from the radio report. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I mean, you know, it's great. You're one of the only bands that I could say, and I do new music, that really the momentum has just taken off, especially with no touring. And it's got to be killing you guys. Could you imagine if you were in Europe or at any of the festivals or where? You know, so I guess my question is, how do you keep the momentum going? Obviously, a third release, another video. I mean, how do you keep it generated, you know, without losing?
Well, man, I mean, it's kind of a perfect storm in a way for us, because we had the record in the queue. I mean, we had uploaded it, sent it to the distribution people, and it was in the queue. And it takes a 2-month. It's like a 2-month process to like upload it, do the digital release, and you know, send it to all the people. And there's a whole process that goes along with that. And then COVID kind of started to hit, and so it slowed the process down a little bit. I'm thinking, well, we'll be in and out of this thing in a couple months, maybe, you know. And but then when the writing was on the wall, Brandon and I had to make a decision to either stand back and just kind of let it sit there, or put our foot to the gas. And we came to the conclusion that, you know, it's just like a new band. You know, we can, you know, we'd just done our first debut show with Puddle of Mud, sold out crowd.
Nice.
And COVID hit, you know, shortly after that. I mean, we were booking things of several months out, of course, but so in that time frame, you know, it was like 6 months later or something like that it all kind of started to happen. Yeah. And then everything kind of started happening, and so we're like, let's just put some videos out, let's build the band, let's become relevant in the, you know, like a national market level, and see how we do. You know, it's a nice little test run. We'll see how well people respond to it. And because we didn't know, you know, we felt like we had something really solid in our hands, but you never know what people are going to say.
Right. Until you go out, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And it's such a double-edged sword, because
it really is.
You could sit and wait, but then we're all home doing nothing. We're all locked in, and people are looking for new stuff. So I got to say, I agree with you, Jeff. If it was the norm, I don't know if anybody would really hear of Loyal Order, or really take in the tracks and understand it and go, wow, these guys are good. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking that, you know, when we made that decision, it was kind of like, you know, screw it, let's do this. And are we allowed to curse? I don't know.
Fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck it. You know, we're on our way, and like, this thing's going to be over. I think Jeff and I have like this sort of optimism that's like, it's going to be over faster than we think. Even if it is a year, at the end of that year, it's going to have faster, and we will have burned an entire year of opportunity to like share our music with people. And then that's another year later and maybe even harder to get people's ears back, because once it opens up worldwide, everybody's going to be back to their full focus and everything else. So they won't have as much time to listen to new music. And, you know, lucky for us, people are digging it. And I think again, grateful that the risk that we took paid off, or is paying off.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I think it was the right decision. You would have never known whether we were back to normal or not. You would have never known. And this is a perfect opportunity. People are home just looking for new stuff, and you got their attention. But, you know, I just can't wait for you guys to get on the road. I mean, I interviewed an artist the other day, and they're doing a live stream, and I started mentioning about the original songs, and he's like, yeah, we got to relearn them. You know, we haven't played so long. Like, holy shit, how did I do that with this move and the slide? And I mean, he's like, what? You got to he was, Pat, we haven't played in like 8 months. Honestly, we haven't played in 8 months. And we're doing this live stream, and hopefully it all works because of the technology and cameras and all that crap. But he goes, yeah, we've been in rehearsal. Like, we try to get it all down again.
Yeah. It's totally
Have you guys
right,
thought
man.
about doing any of that yet? Any live stream shows?
We did a live stream for Oh Say Can You Stream with
okay.
those guys. Yeah, for, you know, it was the Grammy Youth Foundation and David Elleffson Youth Foundation. And we did that, and it was really cool. And we've thought about doing it more, but like you know, one of our other guitarists is like really very cautious about the COVID thing, and even doing anything like that, you know. And you know, and doing you know, getting the technology together and doing it from each person's house, there's a lot of scariness that goes along with that. So I just want to be sure when we do a performance, it's, you know, we can do it right and not have a mess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
if we're going out with people doing, like, I mean, I saw this Nuno thing that he did a couple of months ago. It's like, to go up against that kind of stuff, if we're going to put out something, it's got to be like, I mean, Nuno did a thing where it was Bohemian Rhapsody with a bunch of guitar players and Steve Vai and Tosin Abasi. It's like, man, if we're going to go out and compete with that, it's got to be like how good we do Hellfire, you know, like with that same intention. So You know, just planning all the things that we're trying to put out right now is it's not hard, but with the quality of guys that we have, we're going to be able to do it, but we just have to plan it right. And then once it comes out, you know, sort of push it the same way instead of kind of going and just like, oh yeah, we're going to do it and we're going to compete with all these worldwide people. No. I don't think so. You know, I saw this video of Alex Skolnick and Charlie Benante from Anthrax and Testament, and they did a Rush song, and it's like, that's my competition. Okay, that's how to get people's attention. That's what we have to do. You know,
no, they're spending big money. They're putting all the technology in everybody's house to make all that work. And it's all about the sound. I know you guys would want to do it tomorrow, but if it's going to come out shitty, nope. Yeah, I'll wait. Keep playing the track. Are you guys writing still? Are you continuing writing?
Yeah, absolutely. We're working on some new songs right now. We've got 2 or 3 in the can, and we're actually getting in pre-production for those right now. So we've got just booking time with our producer, Rob Dacre, who he's been really busy. He's just finished up Royal Bliss's new record. And so he's solid, you know, and just, you know, locking him down and getting the time to do all that stuff. And like I said, I'm going in to do radio edits for our next single too. So
thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah.
I couldn't play that one. And I love it. It's a great song. I said, okay, maybe they're going to do like I Fall Silent, but it's a good choice. And beep, 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 beep. I don't know how you're going to do that one.
6 times in the song.
You're not the first, and you won't be the last. It's all good.
Yeah, we're gonna play with some words, and you know, maybe do a couple bleeps, and
they're changing it each. There's 6 of them, so they're doing 3 loves and 3 pieces. Love or fight, peace or fight.
Brandon, I gotta say, following you on Facebook, I see you're a music instructor, and I see you always put out a little chart, and people go crazy. Thanks for sharing, whether it's a riff, whether it's a line. I think it's pretty cool that you're offering to do that and keep people's interest in music alive and well.
Yeah, absolutely. I studied music in college, and you know, I learned jazz guitar. That was my main study, but I also studied classical theory and did the whole, you know, the gamut. I actually ended up studying like African American music history and, you know, a couple of other things, and it really just gave me a world view of what music is supposed to be. And I don't know, to me, music is very much sort of public. You know, it's got to be like together. And I don't know, for me, I don't draw too many lines between things, you know, except for like, if we're making a rock radio single, we got to like put our rock radio single cap on and do that. But, you know, I just love music, and I love sharing it with people. It's been a really great ride. So
yeah, it's got to be great just to have those influences, you know, just to say, let's try this, let's try that. You wouldn't know if you didn't, you know, go and attend those classes and learn about what the other cultures are throughout the world. So that's all cool.
Yeah, it gave me a view of like how to be a little bit more unique, you know, in a world, you know, that, you know, is sort of people define themselves by sounding like someone, and you know, I try to be as unique as I can be. You know, I'm sure I, you know, sound like somebody, but you know, I use those influences as part of writing. It's like, oh, I remember this thing I was thinking about. Let's try that for a riff. And the lucky for me, Jeff is like, he's really into unique ideas. Like he, you know, speaking of some of the bands that are like that, like Muse and Radiohead, they're using different sort of sounds and different ways of writing. And, you know, that Jeff and I hook up that way is really cool, because I don't know, for me, when I listen to the Loyal Order album, I'm like, does this sound like anybody? You know, I mean, I'm sure it does, but I want it to sound like fresh and exciting for people to listen to, not just like it's been done before.
Well, I know you did a little Queen song for some little girl who seemed happy, and I think Jeff posted Brian May like. What was the song that you ended up playing for the girl?
Oh, it was her song. We were working on it together. It just she's a very dear friend of mine, and we're working on her record. And I wrote this. I was sitting in a hang with a bunch of people, and the solo was sort of developing itself to the end, and I went home and kind of transcribed what was in my head, and I played it for Jeff. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And he goes, oh man, it sounds like Queen. I'm like, I know, it sounds too much like Queen.
First thing I thought, I was like, that's totally Brian May right there.
Yeah. I mean, I love Queen, but he's actually not the first person that I was thinking of when I was writing. It was more Marty Friedman, but Marty Friedman is also a huge Brian May fan. So
sure, there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's all cool, and sadly, as we just came on, and we all learned the loss of the great Eddie Van Halen. I'm not a musician. I got to see Van Halen. It was Alex's birthday. I want to say 1982 in New Haven Coliseum in Connecticut, and it was over the top, explosive. David Lee Roth doing his jumps and bombs going off, and just everybody staring at what the things that Eddie was able to do with the guitar. How much of an influence was he for you guys?
Huge for me, man. I can remember hearing that first record, and I just was instantly hooked, as a kid. But I was like, I can just remember hearing Jamie's crying on the bus. We had this really cool bus driver, Mr. Grant. He had a player, and he'd like, get that stuff going and
crank it up.
Yeah, he had a good stereo on the bus, and we just thought he was like our activities, like take us to football games and stuff, and we rocked out, man. And Van Halen was one of them. So crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
Eddie was like as a guitar instructor, I was like 19 when I really started teaching professionally, and all the kids would bring in these songs, and I always liked Van Halen. Van Hagar was more my era because I was like 10 years old in 1985. Right.
Okay.
When 1984 was out, you could hear Jump and I'll Wait and, Hot for Teacher on the radio. And then a year later, you hear Sammy Hagar doing Dreams and all that stuff. And I'm just like, wow, this is so great. I love these songs. And for me, it didn't make a difference, so I didn't really learn Eddie as a young guitar player. I learned it as a guitar teacher, like where I had to teach it to people. And I just really got it at that point. It was where oh, okay, now I understand why he's so revered as a guitarist, because I just saw it as songs. I didn't really see it as like guitar histrionics or anything. It was just great tunes. And I think that's probably the thing that made him so great, was because he really was a songwriter. He wasn't just a shredder. He could just he didn't just invent tapping. He invented great hooks and great songs, and they really brought a whole bigger than the sum of its parts thing to making great music.
I mean, the first time I heard Eruption, I'm like, what is that? And then being on this side of the table and interviewing people all the time, and I got to interview Steve Lukather from Toto, and Steve put out a book, The Gospel of Luke. I read the book and thought it was a great book. And he would go to the record store somewhere in LA or California, and the guy says, man, you come here all the time. There's another guy that comes here all the time. I can't get rid of this kid. You guys should hook up or something. And it was Eddie. And Eddie originally wasn't a guitar player. He was actually a drummer. Alex was like a piano player, guitar player. And somehow they decided to switch it up. But the Sam Ash Music Store, Guitar Center, or whatever the store it was, said, I can't get rid of this kid. He's here every day. Can I try that? Can I try this? Can I try that? And him and Steve growing up, I mean, they never really knew each other, but they all hit that same neighborhood place. And as I tell my kids who are young adults now, and anybody, hard work pays. I mean, he just didn't grab a guitar and start tapping and do an Eruption. The guy, did his due diligence. And
he was like 19 when he did that first record. I think he was just a kid.
Was he that young back then?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he was just a pup, and how articulate he was, and just composing that thing was it was phenomenal, dude. I mean, yeah, he was just a kid. I mean, I mean, Van Halen changed the face of rock and roll. I mean, they did in a lot of ways, and David Lee Roth, of course, good Lord. Back then it was just he was just incredible to watch, you know.
They were like that new era. We went from the Zeppelins, the Aerosmiths, the Jimi Hendrix,
yeah,
the Who, the Stones, and then we got into Van Halen, AC/DC, this whole new kind of thing gravitated into the music world, I think. What a loss. Can 2020 get any worse? I don't know, man, but
I don't know if I want to ask because it could.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it could. So you're absolutely right.
We're getting close.
But
yeah, we had all the fires. We had all the fires out here in Oregon and stuff. I had to evac, and like, you know, for just a short period of time. But I was like, you know, level 2 evacuation. Level 1's get the hell out of there now, and level 1 was just like a half a mile down the road. So it was crazy. I mean, that and COVID and.
Dude, I get it. I'm a past volunteer fire chief, and I was glad to see they just sent a shipload from New York over to the West to help you guys, to help that out. I'm like, there's nothing worse than what you guys are going through. We thank God we don't have any wildlife fires like what you go through, because they jump and you're done in a split second. So I pray for those folks that are out there on the front line each and every day. Yeah, I mean, can it get worse? I'm sure it could, but I can't wait. You know, one year we just can't wait for it to. But on the positive, look, guys, you put out great music. People heard it, and it went up the charts. I mean, I got 10,000 followers on my podcast. So as much as I think, man, this year sucks, I go, man, you know, the Scorpions put on my Zoom interview with Klaus on your website. So I'm like, this is a good year. And everybody's like, what are you, crazy? I'm like, I'm on the Scorpions website. Are you crazy? They got 6 million followers. Can I just get like 1 million? Come on, guys. But
hey, dude, you're on your way, man. It's like,
you're
definitely getting a lot of push. That's good, man.
Well, wait till you get on ours, dude. Wait till you get on ours.
Yeah. Wait till you. Are you going to roll the dice there, Jeff? Are we doing a virtual dice? I'll believe you. Okay, man. You got 5 dice. What do you got? A pair? What do you got in there?
I have 2 twos.
Okay.
I don't have dice, but I have dominoes.
I'm rolling 3 times. Rolling 3 times.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Nope.
Hey, Jesse Triplett, A Collective Soul.
You're gonna do a double shot.
No, well, I'll do a double shot. That's easy. Jesse hit 3 4s on the last roll in New Jersey, and you thought we won the Stanley Cup in the World Series. We're jumping up and down in the dressing room. So in the 2.5 years, somebody legitimately hit for 5 of a kind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, it was really cool.
Oh, I've got 4 twos.
All right, well then that means we got to do like 4 tracks. How's that? You know, I make it up because it's all about promoting new music and getting it out there. The Loyal Order, loyalorder.com. Get a T-shirt. I need a T-shirt, guys. I got to order a T-shirt. I see everybody.
Drop me your mailing address.
I will definitely do that to you when we get off the thing. Keep up the good work. I can't wait for number 3. You got your work cut out for you, Jeff, for the radio.
Oh, folks. I know.
Brandon, a pleasure, man. Congratulations.
Wonderful to meet you too, man. Thank you.
All the best. We're going to play Hellfire right now. Crank it up on the video on Pat Soundbites IGTV.
Take care, guys.
It's